And although it may seem a little mundane, packing up boxes and, being on the assembly line, what we're really doing is putting in hundreds of hours into the people on the streets who need us. And they need us in a way that none of us will ever understand. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been on the grounds every day. They know we're coming today, they know we're coming tomorrow, and they look forward to seeing us because we're the one little bit of hope that they have to have a warm meal in their bellies and to know that somebody in the world is actually caring for them and loving them. And without people like you showing up today to give your time, your energy, and your spirit, none of this is possible. So I want to really say thank you to everyone, because what we're doing here today may seem small, but it's actually really, really big, and it's impacting hundreds and thousands of families. So I thank you, I love you, I look forward to doing this with you today. My name is Serena Buffalino, and I am the founder of Help Heal Humanity. Help Heal Humanity is a charity that is focused on unconditional giving, love, and support to some of the most vulnerable communities in the world.
Welcome back to Pursuing Profit with Principles. We're so glad to have you join us again this morning. And I am so delighted to bring to you my guest this morning. This lady and I have been working together, doing things together for a while now, and she has been an absolute joy in my life. She is now a two-time best-selling author. She is the founder and CEO of A Joyful Life Coaching, which is health and wellness coaching. And she helps high-functioning women transform the way that they look, feel, and perform through her coaching. And I am so delighted to welcome Miss Brenda Nibeli to the show this morning. Welcome, Brenda.
Thank you so much, Regina. Thank you. And what pleases me even more is that today you said my name, my full name perfectly. Ndebele. You actually said it perfectly. So that
trust me, folks,
so
it's a tongue twister.
Yes, it's a tongue twister indeed.
It is indeed.
Yeah. I am very pleased to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I'm just so excited about this new book of yours that I thought we needed to get together and share a bit with the world about your book.
Okay.
And maybe the mission that you're on with your books. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit as well, because I know that you have even more in store. So I know your first book was Stepping Stones. And that's there's a subtitle to that. Tell us what the full title is.
It's Stepping Stones to Self-Care. So I mapped out, I gave people a roadmap really to self-care.
Right.
The self-care, but not a prescribed one size fits all self-care, but really saying you can choose the type of self-care that a holistic approach to self-care, but that one that fits with your lifestyle so that it works. So
Right.
that was, yeah, so Stepping Stones to Self-Care, the first book.
Excellent. Now, then you've also, in between that one and this one, you did something else. Tell us about that.
Yes, sure. Then the second book is called Live Your Best Life. So, and it's a guided self-care journal. So basically it took the principles and the values from the first book, turned it into a guided journal to help people, because we know that journal writing is so powerful.
Oh, it is.
And can be so profound. And I know that one of the things that people struggle with, certainly people I work with, have worked with, in terms of the self-care, they say, I get started, but somehow or rather, the motivation wanes. And how do I sustain being motivated? And I thought, let me put together a guided journal, because that, and actually was on a daily basis, over 12 months. So for each month, there were specific things that you can't choose to do or not choose to do them, but at least you had a framework to actually focus on a theme for each particular month.
Nice.
So one theme might be, okay, I'm struggling, and this actually is my Achilles heel. I'm struggling with eating well in a way that is sustained, because I know that one's body needs to be nourished throughout the day and the evening. And I tend to eat just once a day, at most twice. However, I know as a health coach that actually little and more often is better for the body. And I do little and once. I don't actually have like a blowout meal. I just can't do it. And I think that goes back to my childhood in Africa, when I lived with my paternal grandmother, when their food was so scarce that she would eat first, then my uncle would eat next, and this was from the same plate. And then, if there was anything left, then Brenda would eat.
Oh,
And so
wow.
most days there wasn't. So my stomach got used to going to bed without eating, or I would have like a mouthful,
Right.
or two if I was lucky. So but over the years, I am pleased with how I've relearned and retaught my body to actually expect to be fed more regularly. So I do eat regularly most of the time. But as you know, and you've touched on this, when I'm on a particular mission, and it's an in-depth mission, I tend to be very single-minded. So at the moment, as you know, we're going to talk about my books, not just the book. So I'm head down, and that can mean that I wake, because as you know, I wake up early. I wake up early, 3, 4 o'clock, and I will look up, and suddenly it's midday, and it's gone, and I haven't had breakfast, or it's 3 or 4 o'clock, unless I've got a meeting with yourself or somebody else. So, and that is why I can go array. But actually, I found a way around it as well. So I make a nutritionally balanced shake, which is actually a complete meal. It's not just a shake, as in just one type of carbohydrates kind of shake. It's actually nutritionally balanced. It's vitamins, it's minerals. But this particular company is organic. Everything is organic. So now I make that overnight. So then I have that throughout the day. So at least I'm nutritionally balanced. But when I say I only eat once a day, I mean actually a meal, actually sitting down with there's potatoes or rice and a salad and some, fish or vegetables, that sort of thing. Then that's once a day.
Interesting. And I've been wanting to have that conversation with you. I'm glad that you shared that is coming from your roots in Africa, because I wondered if it was more traditional from England, but it's not. It's from your roots in Africa.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So we have the stepping stones to self-care.
Yes.
We've got the guided journal.
Live your best life. Don't
Live
forget
your
the living
best
your
life.
best life.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
because
Live your best life, the guided journal. And now tell us about the next one, the one that is coming out right now. It's out there right now.
well, it was published. Interestingly, the way that planet Earth works and the way things just conjure up to to come together. He ended up, and it wasn't. I didn't sit there and with my published editor and say, right, it's gonna be published on this day. It ended up being published on my birthday, last Thursday. Absolutely fantastic. I was so happy. I was so happy because it, it's been in the making for a while. For one reason or another, it just should have been published in February, but one reason or another, it just didn't see the time of day. It was meant to come out, I think, for my birthday.
Exactly. I mean, if you had planned it for your birthday, something would have happened and it wouldn't have been that day. So I love it that it came out on your birthday. What a great birthday present.
Thank you. Thank you. And do you want me to tell our listeners what the title is?
Yes, please.
So this one is called this one, and I shall tell you what my favorite, what I would have preferred for it to be called. So it's called Freedom from Toxic People and Toxic Relationships.
There are a lot of people in the world need that.
Absolutely. And that was part of my motivation. However, I dreamt one night, and I sat up bolt upright in bed because suddenly I had energy vampires like this. I was going, so I wrote it down on a post-it note, in fact, and I still have it because I at my bedside, I'm sure, I don't know, I think you do the same, Regina. I have a post-it note little pad and a pen. I don't know if your listeners can you see this?
Yeah, we can see that.
So and I wrote that half asleep because I woke up in the morning. I thought, was that Jamie? Did I write something down? And then I saw it. Yeah, energy. Beware energy vampires. It was literally a full title. But unfortunately, because you have to do research for titles and so on, when we did the keyword research, that didn't feature very well. So then we changed it. Yeah, so freedom from toxic people. And I think some of us, all of us, know a few such people. And
give an example of what a toxic person is.
Well, a toxic person is a kind of person who may be lovely. They're not necessarily nasty, although some of them are unpleasant as well.
Right.
But some of them are actually people we could even be friends with. But they have the kind of personality that you spend 10 minutes and your energy levels just dip so much. You end up feeling absolutely washed out like a dishcloth because and they drain your energy in different ways. It's not that it's one size fits all either. Now some of them drain your energy by talking about what's wrong in their life. They will say, "Oh Lord, I hate where I live," and they will just go on about what's wrong about it. And the problem is that would not have been the first time they've said that to you.
Right.
And when you try and say, well, what's wrong about it? As in you're trying to get them to start problem solving. No. They just want to rehearse what's wrong about it. And some of them are people where even on meeting them or just coming within their vicinity, you feel a negative type of energy about them. And I've always been able intuitively to pick up on energy, positive and negative. And it got super tuned when I was training for certification as a law of attraction. So these days, even on Zoom, actually, I don't have to be face to face with somebody, in the flesh, even actually in a meeting with Zoom. I can actually sense, if we're in a group, I can sense which kind of people. I need to have very little, communication with. When they say something, I let other people respond. I don't respond because I know that their kind of response is going to sap my energy. So there are those kind of people.
Interesting. And there are. I mean, I think we've all encountered people like that.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
So can you share any of the secrets in your book that just teasers of some of the secrets in your book to how you deal with that?
Sure. Well, I think I give, because I'm always in my books, I like to talk about the experience, to talk about the challenges or the issues, whatever it might be, but then also give some tips that I know, can work, and certainly particularly the ones I've tried and the people I work with in whatever capacity over the last 30 years, it's worked for them. So, for example, a very key one is setting boundaries and actually respecting those boundaries. Because one of the things about toxic people is that they are not respectful of other people, and be it their boundaries, be it whatever it is about you. So you need to set boundaries. And for example, what do I mean? So I could mean something like, you say, oh, look, I said this to somebody actually earlier on. They were saying, "Oh, could we meet up at 8 p.m. Whatever day it was?" And I said, "Well, I'd really love to meet up with you, but not at 8 p.m. I don't like meetings unless it's an emergency meeting. Fair enough, but not actually by choice after 6. I start really early in the morning, and I stop having meetings 6 o'clock, and that boundary is really important, because they probably start midday and you started like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. So you need to conserve your energy. They're not going to do it for you. And the other thing as well, I think, in respect to the examples I gave earlier, so if somebody then is into gossiping, your boundary might be something like, "I really love to catch up with you. That's why I look forward to us meeting up. I'd rather you don't talk about other people with me. You may do that with somebody else who likes doing the same with you." So, and that's not saying it's not going to be easy, that immediately they hear that, they're going to stop. So it's up to you to actually, to maintain that boundary, to then, and one of the ways of maintaining that boundary is that if they then start gossiping about somebody else, you don't react, because obviously it's being said to get a reaction.
Yeah,
don't react.
Absolutely.
Don't react. Yeah.
That is a key one. I think that element of gossiping, and so many people fall into that trap.
Absolutely.
And there's an educational process around that.
Yeah.
And teaching people that it is not appropriate.
It's unhealthy. It's unhealthy.
It is unhealthy.
And also, you see, I think, to make it clear, sometimes when we hear gossiping, we kind of like think that just applies to personal life. It's also in the workplace.
So tell me, Brenda, what has put you on this journey of writing these books, and where are you going from here with them? But why these books? Why now? What is this journey about?
Well, this journey, I turned 70 last Thursday. You and I are the same age, so
yes,
we know how
I got you beat by a month or two.
Okay, big sis, I respect that. That's fine. That's fine. So, okay, why this journey?
Why now?
Why now? Why now is turning 70, legacy. I've been thinking long and hard about, I don't actually have children that I carried in my belly, so to speak, that I gave birth to, so to speak. I have nephews, and I have nephews and nieces, because my two of my sisters passed away some years ago now, unfortunately. But even when they were alive, one or two of the nieces, nephews, they saw me as mom. They connected with me much more. We bonded much more for a variety of reasons. But and also because I used to run services for vulnerable children and young people, and a lot of them I'm still in touch with. Some of them have their own children now. So I'm grandma to all of those, granny or gran, and all the rest of it.
Right.
But so I want very much to leave a concrete legacy that will help my extended family in Africa, because poverty is just getting worse because of the economy, the way that is mismanaged leadership, again, to what you said earlier. And for a number of years, I've been thinking about creating solar irrigation there. But with the way COVID is going and the way it's going, I just thought I need to have a plan B, because I may never be in a position of going to Africa, because and staying there for months on end to actually supervise that kind of project. So I need to think about something else. And I love to write anyway. And also COVID meant that one was cooked up even more than, because I used to love gallivanting, going to my favorite restaurant, but it closed down. So because of COVID, so you got all that. So I'm on a mission to write. I've adopted this program called BAM, BAM, book a month. So by end of the year, it may not be exactly each calendar month that I publish, because the third one didn't quite happen when it should have done. That's gonna happen. That's human life. But by December, I will have 12 books.
That's awesome.
So this is my mission, and then eventually I will publish 70 plus books, to actually in line with how many years I've been on planet Earth.
Very
And
nice.
then the proceeds will go towards supporting extended. It's not just when I say my extended family, the village where my parents are buried, the village that my parents loved very much. And actually that is made up of all my kith and my clan, but also other clans there. So it's our, what are we called? Tribe, African tribe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Very, very nice. I like that. I like that you want to leave a legacy for them.
Yeah.
And that's certainly a great way to do it. We've got just a couple more minutes left, but I wanted to ask you, I know that as you mentioned, by the end of the year, you want to have 12 books out.
Yeah.
And I know you have a really special one coming up. And I wondered if you wanted to take a moment and chat about it or not. For the Jubilee.
The trouble is, I've got 4.
Well,
I think you're that one.
Yes.
I've got 4 that have been drafted already.
Yeah.
That in the process of the publication stage. So
Right.
I wondered which one you meant. Yes. So Platinum Jubilee ladies, thank you so much for reminding me of this, because this is a golden opportunity to say this, and hopefully other people can join us.
Yes.
I really want to have I have started writing a book that celebrates the last 70 years, in line with, and you see the connection here, the line with Queen Elizabeth's reign, because hence the Platinum Jubilee.
Right.
So again, and because Queen Elizabeth was actually in Africa when she was called back to say, sadly her father had died, and she had to come back and take over, so to speak. So, and I think with that strong connection in Africa, I want to celebrate the last 70 years. So mine is going to be so I want people to contribute, either themselves, they were born within the last 70 years, or indeed like myself and Regina, women who turned, and men for that matter, who turned 70 this year. If you're wanting to share your story, you can share, you can contribute a chapter in the book, or indeed if it's not yourself, but maybe your mother, maybe your father, maybe your uncle, or indeed like Regina, your in-law. It
Right.
could
My
be
mother-in-law was from
any
England.
strong, your mother,
Yeah.
any strong connection with the Jubilee years, this last 70 years. It could be from, I've got one woman who's writing from the basis that she came from somewhere in Asia, or rather her parents came from somewhere in Asia. They've settled in the UK. So she wants to talk about that. And I said, she was saying, oh, is that okay? I said, yes, because I'm going to talk about the connection with Africa and here, and
There you
how
go.
I've made my home the UK, but really my roots and my heritage is
Right.
Africa,
Is
Southern
Africa.
Africa, all of that. So yes, so if
Fantastic.
anybody who's listening, thank you, Regina, so much. Anybody who's, because I completely forgotten. Anybody, I've got 6 books, all drafted.
Hard to keep
So
it all straight.
yeah, absolutely. I'm spinning so many plates in the air. So anybody, please join Regina and myself, and you can write to your heart's desire. But also, I've got some questions that actually really focus the minds. For example, what is the most? What is the most? What is the most? How can I phrase it? It's about, what's the thing that is going to shock people the most about your chapter or your journey, whatever you're going to write about? So, what is it that when people pick up that chapter, they're going to go, oh my God, I
Let's
didn't
read this.
realize, or I've learned
Yeah.
this, so it's
Yeah.
very much educational. So,
Absolutely.
but in terms of length, it could minimum 3,000 words,
Minimum
but
3,000.
as long as you like,
We may have to
absolutely.
have you back on again to talk about that one, Brenda, because
That
we're
would be
out of time, unfortunately.
so,
It
that's
went so
fine. I
fast.
would love that because I was out of my
I would
radar.
love
But
that.
yeah,
Yes, let's plan
that
on
would be
having you
great.
back, and we will do a show just on that.
That would be
Because I
great.
think that's an awesome project, and I'm excited to be a part of it, folks. Thank you again for joining us. Brenda, thank you for being here today. And
You're
everyone, go
welcome.
get her book, her new book, Freedom from Toxic People and Toxic Relationships.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah. Thank you.
and we will see you next week on Pursuing Profit with Principles. Bye for now.
Bye.
When you do nothing, nothing happens. Best time to take action is now. This is the time to work on you and your business. So I've created a group, an online academy for professionals and entrepreneurs. Power Partners will help you to start helping yourself.
Helped me change my life and my business.
Not a Toastmasters, it's not a BNI, it's not any of these, but it is. So it's all this stuff in one place.
Get the results that you deserve right now. So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen. See you in Power Partners.
Oh, hello. Happy Monday. Welcome to another episode of Marketing and Mindset with America's Supermom. Can you believe we are already into the month of May? I mean, where did the time go? I am excited because this is the month for Mother's Day. And as America's Supermom with 15 kids, yes, that's how many I have. This is a time that I really get excited because, just remembering how fortunate and blessed I am to have a legacy that I'm able to look at every day and just to celebrate with my mom and think about her. Well, with COVID, it's been kind of hard for us to get together, but just the mindset of still being fortunate enough to have my mom around for those phone calls of, Mom, how do you make, sweet potato pie, or whatever, because I was not the cook growing up. My mom came from a family of 12, and I actually was the only child. She had so many brothers and sisters that she was like, I do not want a bunch of kids. One is enough for me. And then I just flipped the script and now I have 15. So go figure, it's really something how life happens that way. Well, speaking of big families and things of that nature, we are going to be diving into maximizing your superpower with a tribe. This is a group of people that are ride or die, a lot of people say, or they support you unconditionally in order for you to continue on your journey striving for success. So we are going to dive into how do you find a tribe? What does that look like? And what are the benefits, especially for having a group of people that are with you every step of the way. So I am going to pull some slides up here because I think it's always good to have some visuals, so that you can take notes, right? That's one of the things that helps us to not just remember what we said, but also take action. When there's something about writing things down that makes it even more concrete. And before you know it, you're doing great things, like eating right, drinking more water, right? We can talk about these things, but maybe writing them into our schedule is something about that uh, links up to us being able to have that behavior to match it. So we're going to get started with some slides here. Okay, the first one is really knowing who you are. So I'm so glad to be here as America's Supermom, and just briefly want to remind everybody that I had a struggle with depression for 13 years to be exact, and 3 hospitalizations. And now I am all about reframing that story in a way that serves me so that I may serve others. So that is telling about my journey, the highs and lows, the ups and downs, the lessons that I learned in order for other people to avoid that major pitfall of depression. And now that we're in this global pandemic, you can only imagine what it has been like with the ups and downs with managing a large family. We still have 10 children that are at home and making sure that they're okay, whether they're virtually or in person in school, and all the different modifications that they have had to experience along the way during this global pandemic. So during this time, I thought about, what is a way that I could be proactive with my mental health? And I came up with an acronym for SMILE. So yes, it's great to have a smile on our face every day, but it also has 5 pillars within that smile that reminds me of how I should be leading myself every day, making sure that I'm getting enough sleep, really monitoring my mood and my inner voice, making sure to take time to laugh, and really gauging what my energy is like. This has really helped me tremendously because I just dived into so many things during the pandemic to help other women, give them some tips and strategies to navigate through working from home and their kids being at home, and I think a lot of that strength and ability to do that was because I was mindful of the things that I needed to do every day to fill my cup up. So the first thing is knowing who you are, right, with your tribe. So what are some of the I am statements that you tell yourself? These are some of the things that I say. I am powerful. I am successful. I am resourceful. I am helpful, and I am evolving daily. I love that last one. I'm evolving daily because I do not know everything. This was one of the biggest lessons that I learned on my journey, to let go of that need to feel like I have to have all the answers, that I have to know everything, be a part of everything. That has been a game changer for me. But it's important to know what you're telling yourself, because these are the people that you attract, right? Whatever you focus on grows. So you are able to tap into your superpower when you know who you are. And that is really knowing the truth about your story. So in my journey, 13 years of my life was dealing with depression. And I was functionally depressed. It wasn't like I was laying in the bed, not doing anything. I was busy taking kids to practice, back and forth to school, going on field trips, doing things in the community. The list goes on and on. My husband's a pastor, so doing things at church. He's also retired officer in the military. So all the balls and functions that we had to go to. But whenever you're first in a position of telling yourself the truth, letting go of the story that doesn't serve you anymore, feeling like, you are not in alignment with the things that you're saying, that is the first step to really being able to tap into your unique superpower. And then being authentic with that. So as a mom, I deal with the same stuff that other moms deal with. You tell your kids 70 times, it seems like, pick your shoes up, put your plate in the sink, push your chair in, get your homework together, pack your lunch. Did you do your chores? I mean, it's just like the same thing most parents are saying. I'm doing the same thing, but multiply it by the number of kids that are at home. Stop arguing with your sister or your brother, right? It just goes on and on. So when you're authentic about those things, those are the things that resonate with other people, and it attracts them to you. If I was saying, yes, I'm America's supermom and life is great, rainbows and lollipops, no one could resonate with that, because the reality is our kids are struggling right now. They have virtual school in some places. They're wearing masks. They can't interact in the same way they used to. These are the realities that are happening. So when we have this facade or this image that life is great all the time, it makes us unrelatable. And people don't always resonate with that message. There's a block there, that keeps us separated. So thinking about that, being authentic helps you to be more relatable to other people. And then just being patient, right? Understanding that although you're on a journey to get somewhere else, it's going to take a little time to get there. Okay. So when you're able to tap into your unique superpower, you are attractive to the next people that are a part of your tribe, people that resonate with your message or what you're trying to build or whatever the case looks like. So we're going to dive into some of the benefits of being in a tribe. The first thing is support, right? You never have to go at it alone. If you want to start a business, if you want to just be able to talk to someone about some of the things that you're really dealing with, just let someone listen. That is the first benefit of a tribe, right? It is that support that you get to recognize that you're not alone. Part of my journey with depression was feeling like no one understood what I was going through. I isolated myself with my own inner voice. And so I was basically the only voice that I was listening to. People might have complimented me or said other things, but it was just bouncing right off of me. I had a wall that was up that protected me, so I thought, but it just isolated me from other people. So support is a great thing and a benefit with a tribe. The next thing is education. How often have you learned things and then you get with your tribe and you share what you learned? And people say, what? I've never heard of that. So case in point, just last week, I did an interview, and as we closed the interview, I made a plea for people to reach out to me in my LinkedIn bio. I had a charity moniker that was put there in my bio on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn now allows you to have an external link where people can click on, right from your bio. So I was doing the interview, got to the end and shared it with my guest, and she was able to learn something new. She said, every time I am with you, I learn something new. So you never know what you're going to learn, what you're going to teach other people. Education is a great benefit of being in a tribe. The next thing is strength. You are mighty in numbers, right? So let's say that you want to do a Facebook Live and you've never felt comfortable to get on video. So you get on video, you have a tribe, and you've got that tribe that is an audience for you. You know how you're afraid that nobody's going to watch. So you set a time that's convenient for your tribe, and then they watch it, and then they share it. And from a one person video that you're recording, you can reach however many people that are in your tribe and then some when they share it on their platform. So that's just one example. But just thinking about the ability to know that you can depend on someone, you can call them, you can be mighty in numbers just with a little organization. So the next thing is creative ideas. We hear a lot of talk in business about masterminding, getting with people, and just having great conversation. This is one of the great benefits of being present with your tribe. Oftentimes when we get together, sometimes in groups, we're distracted. What am I going to make for dinner? Are my kids okay at school or whatever? We think about all these different things. But when you're in the moment with your tribe and diving into that, you can come up with creative ideas because you're bringing all of who you are to the table, right? And so when you're able to be yourself, you can bring that, whether you make jokes or, you have a funny laugh or, you just have all these different personality traits. You can bring that to the table, and those ideas can spark even more ideas and more creativity because you're comfortable and you're just engaged, right? And so from that, it just is an abundance of ideas, and just the sky is the limit on the things that we can accomplish when we learn to be our awesome selves and focus on that and be present with our tribe. We can come up with some creative ideas. Okay. The next thing is accountability, right? How often are we saying, yeah, I'm going to write that book, or I'm going to go on this journey of weight loss, or, I'm going to try to get up earlier and, do a lot of things for self-care before I start my day. I'm going to read, I'm going to write, whatever it is, right? A tribe can keep you accountable because it is so easy to make a list of goals and then look up and a week passes by, a month. I mean, we're already in May, right? So we are 5 months into 2022. How many of us had these grand goals for the year of 2022? Where are we with those goals? Are we keeping up with those? Are they in front of us on a regular basis? Do we have visuals? Are we having a checklist? Are we having a check-in system? What does that look like for us? And so when you have a tribe that keep you accountable, hey, we're 5 months into 2022. What are some of your goals? What are you doing towards Christmas, right? Because we say next year, I am not going to wait till the last minute to buy gifts or whatever. So what's that looking like? We have a thing of Christmas in July. Sometimes we have a joke about it, right? And so if you're thinking about Christmas in July, Maybe July is the month that you want to start preparing for the holidays, right? Just putting back a little extra every week, month, or whatever as you make it closer to Christmas so that there is more time for you to be intentional and present and not stressed out with all the things that you want to get or different things like that. Even coming up with the theme. Maybe it is relaxation, as the theme for Christmas. So you get people pajamas. You get aromatherapy themes. So that way you can have a theme, and so everybody gets stuff in that genre or whatever. And you can buy things in bulk and be done with it, right? The next thing is patience, right? So as we are on our journey, the tribe connects with us usually where we are or where we're headed. If you're on a journey of public speaking, maybe you connect with some speakers or people that still that decide that they want to be speakers. And so you're taking that journey together. Whatever it looks like, there is the mindset of understanding that you're on the journey, that we need to be patient with ourselves. I love the quote that I have been saying like a dead horse over and over again, which is you can't plant a seed today and eat the fruit tomorrow, right? Because it's a process. You plant the seed, it goes through its time in order for it to develop and be fully ripe to the fruit that we are able to eat. So that's a process. So we have to have patience with all that. All right. So those are the benefits of the tribe. Now, so once we have our tribe, it's important for us to think about how we can be a blessing to that tribe. How can we nurture that tribe? And so I'm going to give you a few visuals of things that you can do in order for you to continue to build that relationship and nurture it. So whatever your brand is, so again, America's Supermom, I'm all about smiling. That's one of the monikers, about making sure that you're staying mentally well. So I have a picture for that. So that's part of my bringing, a part of my messaging, right? So whatever that looks like for you, think about what you want to look like and how you want to show up. So the first thing is we get these notifications about people that are in our connections, right? Our followers or whoever. Congratulate them on the things that they accomplish. However, congratulate them with your brand. So a lot of these platforms have little quick scripted messages that are already prepared, which that's good. But we can take it up just a simple notch by branding whatever we share with other people so that we can stay top of mind with them and they can resonate with who we are and what message that we're sharing. So congratulating them on hard work is an option. Another thing is having an amazing birthday. So this is something that you can get on Facebook, LinkedIn, and it is just so many people that usually comment on somebody's post when it's their birthday. And you may get lost in the sauce, right? So one way to stand out is to send them a personal message, wishing them happy birthday, right? Letting them know that it's from you. And whatever message. So mine is have an amazing day, have an amazing birthday, happy to be in your tribe. And if you notice, the message before that said the same thing. Now, people can say, I don't want to say the same thing. But if you think about branding, does McDonald's go around and say, I'm kind of tired of those golden arches? I think today I'm going to put something purple up. Tomorrow it's going to be green. No, branding is about being consistent, doing the same thing. Any place where I go, I look for those golden arches and I know that that's McDonald's. So this is what you want to begin to do with your brand. Get over the fact that it's the same old whatever. Okay. You want to create a familiarity. You want them to know that this is you, that that's your message, that's your moniker, whatever that is. Okay. And then the last thing is doing a review. So, just simply telling them, hey, you are 5-star with me. I appreciate how you came to my rescue and you were my guest when, the person who was scheduled had to back out. I don't know, whatever it is you want to come up with, but doing your own set of reviews and standing out in that way. So those are some benefits of being in a tribe and some different things that you can do in order to nurture your tribe, but also get the benefits of being in a tribe. And if you have any questions with any of these things, or maybe you want the slides, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to have a call with you, a chat about how you can show up, how you can attract the right people in your tribe. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. Because I would love to be able to start a dialogue regarding the subject. So I just again want to wish you happy May. I'm so excited to have another month, right? And being able to just start a new month and with a new attitude, because we can get so caught up in goals and quotas and all these different things when you're an entrepreneur, but just having the opportunity to start fresh, right? A new fresh start every month, that is amazing. So I want to thank all of you guys for watching today. This has been a wonderful time with you all, and I want to wish you a happy May and go out and crush it with your goals. But remember to be the authentic version of you, and you will attract people that vibe with that will be a part of your tribe with your vibe. Listen at me. I've got all these different things. It's early, y'all. Forgive me. So have a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.